Good evening. Today is Tuesday, March 26, 2019, and this is the start of the Hanson Board of Selectmen meeting. This meeting is being televised by Whitman Hanson Cable Access. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, Hanson. Here are this week's announcements. The town clerk urges all voters and residents who have not returned their 2019 census form to do so as soon as possible. Any voter who has not returned their 2019 town census form will be placed on the inactive voter list for future elections. Nomination papers must be returned to the town clerk's office by 5 p.m. on Friday, March 29th. A minimum of 50 certified signatures of registered voters is necessary for a candidate's name to appear on the ballot. For more information, contact the town clerk at 781-293-2772. The Board of Selectmen, in conjunction with the Board of Health, will be holding a forum regarding the implementation of plastic bag and polystyrene in the town of Hanson on Tuesday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. right here in the Selectmen's meeting room. Residents and businesses are encouraged to attend. And just on a side note, this won't be the only forum for folks to come out and chat with their concerns. So there will be a concert at the First Congregational Church in Hanson, 639 High Street in Hanson, on Saturday, April 6, 2019, at 6 p.m., featuring the Collington, as well as the Randy and Black local artists. Free offering of refreshments will be served. For more information, contact 781-293-7997. Come help us celebrate all things Hanson with the upcoming Hanson Day being held on June 1st from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the town green. The town of Hanson and the Hanson Business Network are teaming up to bring this event to fruition, and we hope that you'll join us. We're inviting all churches, businesses, civic organizations, as well as other groups to be an exhibitor at this event. There is no cost to participate in this, and exhibitors will be provided with a table and chairs if needed. Space and as well as space on the town green. We're asking any exhibitor to engage attendees by having demonstration, games, crafts, or any other type of activity. Please note that we will not be allowing items for sale other than those to benefit the Hanson 200th Anniversary Committee. If you're interested in being an exhibitor, please contact Laura Kemet or Josh Singer. Volunteers are needed on the following committees: the 200th Anniversary, Capital Improvement, Cultural Council, Economic Development, Elder Affairs, Finance, Historic Commission, Memorial Day Patriot Observance, Memorial Field Trustees, Recreation Commission, and Zoning Board Alternate. Applications for appointment and information on these committees are available on the town website at hanson-ma.gov. The Recreation Committee will be meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, March 27th at 6 p.m. 200th Anniversary will be meeting on Thursday, March 28th at 7 p.m. Selectmen will be meeting on March 28th, April 2nd, April 9th, April 16th, and April 30th, all at 7 p.m.
Thanks, Matt.
Excuse me,
Go ahead.
the 28th is really just to co-post for the 200th, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
That's why I put the 200th anniversary, just in case you have
Okay.
3 members present.
All right, awesome, thanks.
Okay, so the first thing on the new business, adjust fees for weights and measures. We have Rob O'Rourke here, he's the sealer of weights and measures. Rob, you want to come on up to the podium for us, please? So we need to adjust our fees, it looks like. And Rob's going to explain that.
Mr. Chairman, Rob came to me several weeks ago with a suggestion. He had taken a look at what we were spending in terms of covering his services and what we were charging for fees. And Rob was so kind as to take a look at comparables with surrounding towns and to suggest how the Board of Selectmen might want to appropriately amend the current fees to be more realistic and more reflective of what we're expending to do the necessary service. So just as a preamble.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. At the end of the year, I have to do an annual report for the state, and when I did that, I did notice that there was a little bit of a difference. The ceiling fees that I brought in was $2,630, and what you people paid me, not that I'm looking for a pay cut at all, is $3,967. So the difference is $1,337. And for this service, for the businesses and the residents, should be a wash. So that's what I'm trying to propose to help you out on. And I did do a couple of comparisons, and I did a survey from the Plymouth, the whole state, which could be provided only if the towns provide it to the state, and also the surrounding towns. So there are different options you could take. Quite simple, I don't know what you have in front of you, but if you went up $5, it would be additional $445. If it went up $10, it would be like $890 a year, which bring you pretty close, because the total cost of the department's salary is also was the conferences and dues and travel, and that was, I believe, was $440. That's not going to happen to you every year, because I do 2 other towns, and we rotate that. So you're right on the money if you take that route. So if you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to.
What exactly is, and I'm sure I'm gonna kill this right now, avoirdupois? What is this all weights avoirdupois metric apothecary Troy? What exactly is that?
Those are different weights. Those would be pharmacy scales and apothecary weights. So the pharmacies will have their own weights, and I'll go in with my weights just to make sure they are
Oh, okay.
are accurate.
And if we go with these new proposed rates, is there any particular type of business that would be more adversely affected than another? I assume probably gas stations, I don't really know.
Gas stations would be more because they have more meters, because we charge by the meter.
Okay,
Scales, they would be, of course, the Shaws. Then you have the propane scales. We don't charge for the youth football scales. You have heavy duty scales for the recycling. So you only have a handful of those.
so if we vote these new rates, can you walk us through how that gets communicated and integrated into people's pricing? This is all really brand new to
Well,
me.
I could, when I do the inspection, I can either charge them what you have now and say it's going up next year, or implement it now and go from there,
Okay.
whatever your choice is.
So you don't think it's a big deal in most cases to go up a little bit?
I don't.
When you go out and do the inspection and you say it's X amount, if it's more than last year, most people aren't gonna complain.
To tell you the truth, I mean, you are low. I mean, you go down near the Cape and what do we charge them, $20 a meter? They're $40, $50 a meter, you know?
Wow.
Wow. I agree that it should be a wash. It
Yeah,
seems as a very
absolutely.
basic premise.
So the bottom line is you're looking to make up the 1337.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from year to year, there's no particular difference, increase or decrease in the amount of meters you're sealing or the amount of scales you're sealing in the town of Hanson?
No, only if you would add a gas station.
Right.
Or if Shaw's put in more scales, which they did put in a couple of new ones that I had to do. But it wouldn't, more or less stays the same.
Okay, that's stable.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the guy behind the scenes and nobody really completely appreciates what you do, but it is very important to make sure that we're getting accurate pricing from people on things.
It is. It's very interesting, to tell you the truth, what you see. But it's, like I said, we do it for the businesses. When I go to a gas station and I see they're over pumping, they love to see me. you know, because you can evaluate and calculate how much they're saving, because I was there, you know. So you just work with the businesses, and they understand my job.
I would like to implement it now. I mean, if it's not an undue burden on any one business, and I mean, we're talking about a total of $1,300. If we're spreading that out over all the different businesses, I don't think
it's
it's
not a
gonna be.
lot of money.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of information for you. I don't know. I think this would be, I simplified it for you today, if you want me to hand this out. This will more or less
Yeah, that should be in that
Yeah.
package.
Yeah, we have that.
This is weights and scales for
That's what we're
dummies.
looking at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have my chicken scratch.
No, we don't have your chicken scratch, no. What's the chicken scratch tell us?
That's what it would be if you wanted to come even. If you wanted to make it a wash.
Down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay. And you've just based this on the various towns around us, and
What's that?
you've based this on the various towns around us?
I did,
what you're
I
saying.
did.
Okay.
And why I'm here, if I could, Mr. Chairman, the only other things I would say is on the weight kit, when I was at, you have the individual weights, as you were saying, they have just a weight kit, and that's really not on the fee schedule. And I did write that down on there with a star.
Oh, yeah.
If we could
$15.
add that.
Okay.
So you're looking for a motion for us to approve the new rates as you've indicated here, and then to add a weight kit,
Yeah,
and then are you looking for something new, which is a retest at a half a fee?
exactly. So right
Okay.
now, by law, we go in once a year to do a scale. And if it needs to be adjusted by a technician, when I go back, they say, well, you've already been here, you know, so I've already been there for the year. I could charge them for the regular price, but a retest, it should be right on the money, so it's an easier inspection, more or less.
Okay.
So, and that would be half the fee. And the other one is to allow the inspector, myself, to do a price verification inspection. By law, that's chapter 98, section 56D, which is price verification inspection. And the state wants you to go in every 2 years, but most towns do it every year. I don't know if you ever adopted that. To tell you the truth, I have been doing it every year. If someone questioned it, in the book it says, well, why are you here again? Because it says in the book every 24 months. But all the other towns do it every year, and I just want to, I don't know if it's on your books or not.
Well, it won't hurt if we,
If we add it.
yeah, if we add it. I mean, I can make the motion, I don't, if.
Yeah.
No, okay. So I move, this is a lot you're asking of us here, let's see. I move that we adopt the new fees as indicated in the handout that you've given us, that we allow you and change the bylaw or whatever we need to change. I don't know if it's a regulation or what it is, and Mary, maybe you can tell us what it is. To allow you to do annual inspections, to add a weight kit for $15, and to allow you to charge half of your normal fee for a retest. Does that capture it all?
That caps it exactly.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any more questions?
Can I just say, Laura, well done.
I couldn't do it again. I just had to go with it.
And I'd like to say, Rob, well done. That's
Absolutely.
pretty impressive there.
All right, well, thank you for your,
All those in favor?
Thank you.
5-0.
I mean, I noticed it does say, we have not looked at this since 2005.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a little still dated. Thank you for bringing it to our
I was
attention.
just gonna say,
Yeah.
thank you for keeping us on our toes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Okay. Next up, we have, it's item 2 on your iPads, declare Woodbine Ave parcel lots as surplus. So this looks like this is an easement that was on this property, and it looks like they want us to remove the easement.
And it's just a 10-foot strip?
Is that right, Mary?
No,
No,
What-
that's why I defer to you.
What had happened, and Mary can correct me if I'm getting this wrong, because this goes back a number of years. In 1995, apparently there was permission given to this particular individual to put an addition on their house, either put up a new house or put an addition. That being said, they were incorrectly given permission to go 1 to 3 feet on a piece of town property. This has been bouncing back and forth approximately since 2005. I believe it was when there was some thought of selling the property, and somebody went back and did a title search and the surveying and all that, and it became apparent that the town had granted permission, unbeknownst and not at the fault of this particular person, for them to, again, put at least a minute part of their structure on a piece of town land. To rectify this, and this has been through town council, and it's been out there again for a number of years, what we're asking the board to do is declare that particular strip of land, that 10-foot strip of land, as surplus, which will allow us in Article 26 to go before town meeting to grant that easement, which would allow a potential sale, or it would at least make that property legal, the structure legal. So it's a mistake that the town made a bazillion years ago that we're trying to make right at this point.
So we're proposing that we could sell, potentially that person could try to buy, we're gonna auction this property?
No.
No, we're gonna sell it.
No.
We're not doing anything.
We're not doing,
No,
well.
so they
we're grant-
can't sell
we're
their
granting-
Right, so
property
it's
because
just
it's
an
a
easement.
We're granting them
portion
an
of it's on
easement so
town.
that.
All right, I
so
just
that
wanted to make
piece of-
sure.
for that piece of property can be sold and is basically legal.
Okay,
But it's a two-part action. You've got to declare the piece of property surplus. We did an analysis that it's well below the value that would require us to do any 30B, any sort of procurement laws, things of that nature. Again, it's been fully vetted through the town attorney. And then we will go to town meeting, and town meeting will be asked to grant that easement. But it's got to be declared surplus before an easement can be granted.
so what consideration is the town getting for this?
None, because the town made a
Because we made
mistake
a
in the
mistake.
first place. It's the town's error.
Okay,
The town back in 1995 should have never allowed this to happen. And these particular people would not have been in that situation.
all right, so
But
did you
it's,
want?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Laura. That's just too easy. In 1995, I'm going to abstain from voting on this. Because what I have for information, in 1995, the town made a mistake. Okay, but what it's not telling me was who made the mistake in 1995, who the property belonged to in 1995.
Belong to the town.
No, where the house is being built on.
well, I
The
think it
house is
says
built,
that.
already
Right.
built, the
Yeah.
addition. It was owned by a woman by the name of Barbara
Right, it
Watts.
says that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the same
She was a
person.
property, she's still a property owner. Is it in bank ownership now? Yeah,
It's in foreclosure.
it's in
It's-
foreclosure.
Okay.
So before, and this is, as Mike said, this has been around for a while. Years ago, at town meeting, they voted to actually sell the whole parcel that this little strip is on. And town meeting voted to sell it. It never happened. So Mrs. Watts sat there with this, problem with her title. So council recommended doing this before the bank turned around and sold it and had another title issue, town council recommended just putting giving them an easement for 1.5 feet or whatever it is. It's a 10-foot strip for the length.
Okay, so I get that, but like, if I wanted an easement on my neighbor's land, I'd have to pay, and I know it's bank owned, but it's like, it's our land. And I get that there was a mistake made, but she's getting, not she, because obviously she's
bank owned,
deceased,
yeah.
God rest her, but, it just seems like, is this a precedence? Are we just gonna be granting easements for no consideration when it's the town property? I don't know if I'm overblowing this or not, I don't know.
Well, you go ahead.
But before we can do anything, we have to determine that it's surplus property. This small strip would have to be surplus. If we determine at town meeting that we want compensation for that, we can do that prior to town meeting and say we want to put an amount on there and see if they will go along with it. you know.
I mean,
or
because they're
make a
gonna
deal.
want a title when they go to sell it. There's gonna be a title problem, and,
If we have this recorded as an easement,
well,
it will show up
I'm
as an
saying,
easement.
right now, if they went to sell that
Yeah.
property,
Yeah.
there'd be a
Right, they're-
title
they're- and they're
issue,
aware of
and
that.
they'd have to come to the table with us, and they'd have to have a conversation with us. And I don't feel like it's placing an undue burden on a homeowner, because there's nobody living there, it's owned by the bank.
And the bank would have to pay.
Right. Or they'd have a property that had a title issue and they wouldn't be able to sell it. So I'll make this motion, but I would like to have further discussion about what we're gonna do with it after it's declared surplus. So I move that the Board of Selectmen declare a 10-foot strip of land running along the property line between Plot 30 and Plot 32 Woodbine Ave, as more specifically described in the easement and on the plan entitled Plot Plan of Land in Hanson, Mass, prepared for Barbara Watts by John Delano, W. Delano and Associates, Inc., 220 Hudson Street, Halifax, Mass, job number JN-6093, both on file in the town clerk's office, is no longer needed for exclusive municipal purposes, said property to be deemed surplus property.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any more questions?
Just that, Mary, you said that it was approved at town meeting, that this be...
the town meeting voted to authorize the Board of Selectmen to sell the property.
Okay.
And then it was never put out there. Honestly, I can't remember, it was so
Okay.
long ago, but it was just
That second step in
Yeah.
the
everything.
second step in that, to sell it.
Was
Yeah.
And it
dropped.
was- Right, but it was the entire parcel. It wasn't this small strip.
Okay.
And I can't remember how big the parcel was.
All right, then.
Okay, all those in favor? 5-0. Okay, next up, I'm gonna jump around. Let's
He
get
didn't want it.
Michael out of here.
That's what this is.
Okay, let's go down to request dollars for scholars. Declare April as Dollars for Scholars Month and erect to fundraising thermometer. That's item 7.
So you bring it back to the thermometer, Mike, huh?
Yes, if you're okay with that.
Of course we are.
Okay, so the letter says, Mr. Chairman, Whitman and Hanson Dollar for Scholars is asking the Board of Selectmen to declare April's as Dollar for Scholars Month. Over the past dozen years, this declaration has assisted our organization in publicizing our event and activities, and it has helped us sustain in our fundraising success. Thank you in advance for your consideration. Please find a sample proclamation attached. So,
Can we just pause for a moment to note the extremely good work that Mike and company do, and Michael's dedication to this, and how many folks it helps out, because so many students have benefited from
Yes,
these
absolutely.
awards. So kudos to you. Keep up the good work.
include Mike.
How many years has it
When they
been?
went there.
A lot.
So, yes, I agree. Thank you very much. So I'm looking for a motion.
To declare April as Dollars for Scholars Month.
Yes.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, that's the first one. Next is item 8, Dollars for Scholars. Request to use the McQuon parking lot for an annual electronic recycling event on Saturday, May 11th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
So moved. Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.
We don't need a motion on the thermometer, do we?
Years past. You have voted it in years past, so I don't know if you need to.
So we probably should have made that part of the first motion, right?
Second.
Well, why don't we do a separate motion for
Yeah.
that, if somebody wants
Go
it?
ahead, Jim, just do it.
Do it.
I'm looking for a motion to
Grant
approve.
permission to erect a fundraising thermometer on the town hall lawn for 6 to 8 weeks, beginning of April to the end of May.
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Dyer. All those in favor? 5-0.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Let's move back up to item 3, review the town administrator's evaluation tool. That's item 3. And I think, Selectman Bloss, you've been
So Mike and I did sit down together and came up with these goals. Beth Sloan was involved in one of the goals as well. And, I mean, our job, this is still wide open. Anyone can add, amend in any way. But, I mean, we just decided we wanted something that was streamlined, as straightforward as possible, obtainable, exactly, so.
Not redundant.
So, I mean, I think it was Beth Sloan who suggested the idea of the union meetings and the safety committee, which she said the safety committee has not been convened in years. And that was necessary for the welfare of town hall. So we included that, turned that into one goal. I could only ask, I mean, the one thing, Mike had said that there is going to be an electronic,
When the doors are installed. yeah.
doors are installed, is
When they're completed,
is that happening? That hasn't happened yet. though.
no.
I mean, we might need to come up, I don't know, just on a calendar or
Yeah,
something.
well, that's what I was gonna suggest up until such time as it can be electronically monitored.
And we can adjust this at any time, too, if we needed to tweak it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
As
as
long-
I've said, I'm open.
No, I read it Sunday, I think it's good.
Well, it's awesome.
It's a start.
It's way better than what we had, which
Yeah,
was
it is.
ridiculous and redundant. And what were you anticipating on putting in that last?
Ah, well, there you go. Yeah, specifically ... It's, that's.
It's not my iPad, that's blank?
It's blank. Mike will create and complete new evaluation forms for town personnel specifically. And then we thought, I mean, from year to year, it's like, for this year, do we want to work up a list? And we don't need to do it right now, but I mean, just say before we finalize this tool, say for 2019, 2020, who do we want to make sure there are new evaluation forms for?
And I thought that, as we went through the process, or when we got towards the end of the process, I'd present the form to the Board of Selectmen for, review and consideration. I don't know if you needed to vote it, but I'd want you to look at it and be comfortable with it.
Okay, that sounds great. Could we, I don't know exactly which category this would go into, but I think one of Mike's extremely important jobs is to make sure that we are adequately prepared with the information we need for each meeting and for town meeting.
I mean, maybe that could be a sixth goal. Maybe we want just to add that goal afterwards, instead of trying to stuff it into one.
Sure, that works. I really thank you for taking, the bull by the horns on this one, because I think we can all agree that other tool was just mind-boggling.
So Mike, write down what Laura
Yep.
just said, please. And let's get that added as the sixth goal.
Yep.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
something else I would kind of like to see in it is just kind of, it's nice because you have measurable goals, which I really appreciate. But also too, I think that we shall also have just open-ended, hey, we wish that you could improve on X, Y, Z, and we commend you for doing a good job on X, Y, Z. Just so that way Mike also gets feedback just in general sense of something that might not fit on here, but that we can address and work together to making sure that.
Yeah, I like that, because there might be something that we really think he hit it out of the ballpark on, but it's not necessarily one of these, widgets here, and, so just an open-ended, areas for improvement, areas of success type of thing, or
Right,
something
so
like
that way
Yeah.
it can cover everything if needed.
So would it be like another category or just like
Yeah,
a
just-
comment line?
Yeah, just comment line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Matt, I'm unclear exactly what the wording is and how to make it so clearly commendable, acceptable, unsatisfactory. What is it? I mean, are we saying we're going to add goals in the course of the year?
No, I think what I thought Matt was saying was, we do all of this that you've said, but then sort of at the end, if there's something that doesn't exactly fit into one of these categories, but Mike helped us with the project or did something, that we can kind of go a little AWOL on it and put some comment.
Oh, we could.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, we could, any of these boxes, I was just squeezing what I could
I
onto
think
my
the
one
comment section is
page.
perfect.
Yeah.
Right on the bottom.
Yeah, just any of these boxes could be huge. I mean, we could turn this into a 3-pager.
But we are trying to keep it brief. And so I think if we add the one thing that I mentioned, the thing that Matt mentioned, and I mean, it's a work in progress, right? We could get into this and go, you know what, we forgot to put on there
Right.
this.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
So,
So are
okay.
we looking for a motion to, no motion?
I don't think we need a
Okay,
motion.
all right. Thank you,
Does
guys.
anybody else have anything else to add? Okay. Okay, next, we're gonna table the Board of Health. They're not ready to have the discussion on the transfer station, so we'll get together with the chairperson over there and figure that out. So next, we have appointments. The Board of Registrars, Barbara Ferguson, term to expire 3/31/22.
That's a reappointment.
Okay, that's a reappointment.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, then we have Council of Elder Affairs, Joanne Clemens, 671 Indian Head Street. Is that a reappointment too?
No, it's not, but Mike had an opportunity to meet with her because she doesn't come out at night.
Oh, okay.
I had a discussion with her, I believe it was last week. I actually am quite familiar with Joanne. I see her over at the Council on Aging whenever I'm over there. She's very active over there, very interested in getting involved at that higher level. And I wholeheartedly recommend and suggest the Board of Selectmen appoint her to this position.
Oh, she's a lovely lady. So moved.
Yes.
Yep, and that term is to expire on 6/30/20. Motion's made. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Mr. Hickey.
Yep.
Thank you. All those in favor? 5-0.
Wanted to note that, I know we said a while back that, we wanted to meet with anyone, but under the
Yeah,
circumstances,
Yeah,
I think it's
no
obvious that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
that's
just-
no
yeah.
problem.
And that was part of the discussion. If they were unable to come in, they would
They
sit
would-
down and have a conversation with
With
Mr.
Mike.
McHugh.
Yeah, good. No, that works for me. Okay, request, Hanson Little League Opening Day Parade, Saturday, April 6th, from noon till whenever it's over, I guess.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Next, we have Hanson Youth Cheerleading Tulip Fundraiser, Saturday, April 20th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, then we have old business. We gotta review the 2019 special and annual town meeting warrant articles. So, we're gonna go through and we're gonna place some articles, we're gonna recommend some articles, and we're gonna remove some articles.
So the spreadsheets you have on your iPads, because it doesn't show up very well on the hard copies. I've highlighted and bolded some of the articles that are coming off the warrant that won't be placed after we did put the warrant out there. Some departments came in and said that they want to pull their articles. They either have funding within their current budget or things like that. So, and we sat down with the town accountant today to go over whether we're gonna have funding for some of these articles.
So you wanna do the annual first or the special?
Special.
Okay. So the special is item 9 on your iPads.
Can't get Excel to come up.
Okay, Article 1, unpaid bills. Looking for a motion to place. Motion's been made
Seconded.
and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0 to place Article 1. Article 2, supplemental budget. Looking for a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 3, town clerk, election equipment,
So moved.
$5,500 from free cash. I'm looking for a motion to place and recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0 on Article 3. Article 4 is police chief, portable radios, $10,000 from free cash.
Mr. Chairman,
sorry,
in speaking with the police chief just prior to this meeting, he is comfortable with passing on this until October, so I would recommend that the board vote to to pull this article from the.
Not to place.
Not to
Not to
place,
place.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion not to place Article 4.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 5, we're looking for a motion to,
That would be a not to place too. That's a
Okay.
whole, yeah.
looking for a motion not to place Article 5.
So moved.
Motion's made and
Second.
seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 6 is police chief, sidewalks, $7,000 from free cash. So looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 6.
Place, yes. Recommend, what are these sidewalks? Do we know?
These,
Around the police station?
This is around the police station.
Yes.
Yeah, they're crumbling.
Police station.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're a real safety concern at this point, have been for quite some time.
I'm not sure if we get seconded on that one. Motion's made.
did we get a
and
motion?
seconded.
I didn't get a,
Motion.
Second.
So moved.
Motion is made and seconded by Mr. Dyer to place and recommend Article 6. All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, Article 7, we're looking for a motion not to place. Article 7.
So moved.
Second.
Articles, motion's made and seconded.
Mr. Chair, I had a question.
Yes,
So
sure.
This one, so we're not grading private ways this spring.
no, we will be. They have money in the line
Oh, okay.
currently. And since we're so tight on funds, they can get through what they have like 7,500 in the line.
Okay, I just wanted to
And
make sure.
if there's a problem, we can address it in
Matt,
October.
that's a great question. Okay, all those in favor? 5-0. Article 7. Article 8, School Committee, Middle School, replace tiles, 25,000, transfer from free cash. Looking for a motion to place and recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 8. Article 9, School Committee, solar traffic lights, Indian Head School, $15,000, transfer from free cash. Looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 9.
Can I just, is there a difference between all the other lines that say free cash and this saying transfer from free cash?
That's an option. We may transfer from some other lines. We have several outstanding articles for the school projects. We may take this money from some of those, or we're gonna use free cash. We'll determine that as we get a little bit closer to town meeting.
But it gives us the option of closing out monies that are out there that we don't anticipate ever going to be expended.
Right.
So I'm looking for a
Moved.
motion to place and recommend Article 9.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0.
Hey, is
Go
this,
ahead.
Matt, is this anything that,
This is a reimbursement. They've already put the
Oh,
light
there you
in.
put- Okay,
We gave them permission to put it in
Okay.
a few months back. Now that it's installed, we're just reimbursing them, so it's already in there.
Okay, next is Article 10, Thomas Mill, maintenance improvements, $30,000 from free cash. I'm looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 10.
Moved.
second.
Any
Mike,
questions?
have you been involved at all in coming up with this dollar amount?
In terms of the procurements, but not with that dollar amount, no.
Okay, because I mean, I'm just looking at the amount of work and I'm like, who is gonna do all this work
Well-
for $30,000?
Is this the wheel?
Volunteers.
Yes.
No, it's not the wheel.
This
It's
is
not
not
the
the
wheel.
wheel.
It's some improvements actually to the building itself. I think the ramp going inside. It says, it's more specifically in the.
I know the
article.
electric
The
was,
handicap ramp, the electrical,
Yeah.
and like you said, there's some damage to the building itself.
Well, as with all these articles, I mean, if the board is willing to place, but it's gonna hold off on recommending and wants more information, that's certainly your prerogative. And we plan on having, there's a few things here that we're not gonna recommend at this point. We plan on going over a handful of these when we have better numbers at the next meeting. We still have time to do it at the next meeting. So, again, if the board wishes to place but wishes more information prior to making a recommendation on this or any of them, that's
I
certainly.
mean, I would like a little bit more information. I'm inclined to recommend it, but I also noticed the roof is a little funky and again, I'm not an expert, but I know there's been some question about the viability of the roof and I'm just wondering, like, you know, should they just try to get it all done in one fell swoop? This is going to play a fairly major role in our 200th anniversary celebration, so we need it looking kind of,
Passable.
it's best. We need it.
So let's do this. So I'm looking for a motion to place Article 10, Thomas Mill.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to place Article 10. All those in favor? 5-0. And we can get more information. And if anyone else has more information on it, we can just place it like Mike said. Article 11, Sergeant Property, $4,269 free cash. What is that, Mike?
Several years ago, the town inadvertently sold a piece of conservation land to an individual by the name of Sergeant. The town, for many years, has gone back and forth with how to get this piece of property back and how to properly compensate this particular individual for not only the money spent on the property, but the taxes on that property. So it is, the article proposes to both reimburse the individual for the property, take the property back, put it back into conservation where it should have always been, and to compensate them for the taxes paid on a piece of property they could not use.
And it's a wash, they're not profiting from this
No.
mistake, okay.
No.
So we're
this is-
reimbursing them, that $4,269 is money that they paid in taxes that we're
No,
reimbursing them?
they paid $1,500 for the piece of property,
Right.
and the remainder is the taxes they paid.
2,700. So moved.
Second.
Okay, and, was that the place in recommend?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor? 5-0. Article 11. Article 12, the demolition of the McClellan School, $1 million.
Just to place at this point.
Okay, looking for a motion to place.
Yep.
Article 12. Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Dyer. Any questions? All those in favor? 5-0, Article 12. Article 13, Elder Affairs, supplement previous flooring article, $15,000 free cash. Looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 13.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 13. Article 14, Tree Warden, remove trees along Camp Kawani Road, $45,000.
Only to place at this point.
Free cash. Looking for a motion to place.
So moved.
So are we talking about along that whole little lovely road on the way in there, which I
Yeah.
know they've been in decay for a
I just noticed it says tree singular.
Oh, that's my bad.
That's all,
Yeah.
okay, we're
There's,
plural.
It
there's
probably doesn't say that
60
in the
trees
warrant.
in the article. He wants to take down 60 trees.
If you've been there recently, quite some time ago, several of them were marked, and I requested from the tree warden to give me an idea of how much it would cost to do everything. We're not entirely sure that we can afford everything. Again, this is something we need to go back and decide, properly what we can do. But, my thought at this point is to do at least something and get the ball rolling. I don't believe it's going to be to the tune of $45,000.
Have we had an arborist independently verified? Because they do have some historical value as well.
They do.
And so I'm just wondering if we've had an arborist give us a second opinion that they all need to come down.
As far as I know, and I certainly am happy to look into that, but as far as I know, the marked trees, the trees in question are dead trees, or what they call widow makers. So,
That does not sound good.
no.
Okay.
Is there any plan to plant new trees? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. I don't see it on there or any part of this
No, that money is not.
40,000 or 45,000.
No, he would take that money out of his budget, which is separate from this. The plan is to plant new trees every year, but specifically, if we take these trees down, to start replacing them as well.
Okay.
We will be able to plant, sorry, Laura.
No, go.
But are we going to be able to plant at least half of the trees that we're going to take down? Because we're going to have a big issue with erosion control if we just cut these trees down.
Well, anything would be done in conjunction with conservation,
Okay.
with
'cause-
those sorts of considerations.
Because right now they're having erosion issues right now because of all the
Yes.
trees that we cut down
Yep.
in the past.
Yeah,
And with the septic system
Yep.
being done, they're having all these erosion issues, so I
No,
know we
it'd
talked
be-
about
yeah,
this
it-
before.
It would be planned out. yeah.
But
It's
these,
not
these
just-
are along the road, though. They
Right.
aren't up at the camp, is
Right.
my
But
understanding.
there's still a lot of drainage
Yeah.
issues right along that road. You know, like, the article says dead, dying, or diseased, and that's why I asked about arborists. I think Dave does a fantastic job, I've got no questions there. But there are cases where a tree is diseased, there may be some mitigation that could be done to try to save it. And at the risk of being called a tree hugger, which I could live with, I just wanna make sure that, we're not just willy-nilly cutting because we think, that we're really being thoughtful, because they do have historic value, not to mention aesthetic value going up to the camp. I mean, everybody knows they're quite breathtaking.
I think you are all aware of my opinion on trees, and I agree with you. And again, at this point in time,
He's a tree hugger.
well, no, I'm a step under a tree hugger. I mean, some have to come down here and there. But what I was going to say is the way I envision this going forward, if it goes forward, is at an amount that would only cover, as I said so colorfully, the widowmakers and the ones that are dead.
Okay, so.
But again, it's just a place at this point, and we'll come back to you at the next meeting with the number that we're comfortable with, and we can come back with a bit more.
And refine it a
Yeah.
little. Okay.
Okay, so then, I'm sorry, Laura,
No,
but
go.
then we're changing, Mike, you called it the widowmakers, we're changing dying or disease because Laura, like Laura said, with the arborist, he'd be able to tell us exactly.
Well, there may be some dying or diseased trees that the arborists say do need to come down. So
Right.
I'd leave that open-ended. I
Okay.
would, I
And
wouldn't,
I'm sorry, Matt, if I can just finish my point, and I'd like it to be on the article that trees will be planted in their place, if that's how we're gonna do it. I know they're on the road, but we've already got an erosion problem up there, further up from the septic.
I will ask.
You have to
town
figure out what
council-
that's gonna
the
cost.
town-
If you're gonna
well,
plant trees,
well,
there's
the
a
tree-
dollar
yeah,
amount that
but-
goes along with that.
and again,
So
that-
if you include it in
that
the
would be-
article, you're gonna assume that money's going towards replacing trees.
Right.
Yeah, and that,
So-
like I said, the replacement of the trees would come out of the budget that he's already got. We
I'm
would-
not saying don't plant trees, I'm saying
Yeah.
there's a cost to that, so that you can't, this money is for removing
Are
trees.
we
Yeah.
sure his budget is sufficient to cover planting that many trees? I can't imagine that we contemplated giving him that type of a budget.
But he's got-
So I think what we're asking
He's
is.
got $25,000 in his budget.
Okay, can he respond to us and just tell us, like?
Oh, yeah, like I said, I'll come back with a bit more information, and like I said, with a number that I'm more comfortable
And
with.
the other thing, I think down the road, if money allows the town, I think the idea is to extend that road because it's so small. Like Mary
Yes.
said, these trees are all right along that road, so.
Yeah, I know, you have to.
Again, if money allowed down the road, I think in a perfect world, extending Camp Kearney Road so you can pass.
Widening it.
Everybody
road.
has played chicken
If
along
that's
that
the
road.
case,
Yeah.
then that's not the place to plant trees.
And that
So-
conversation started far before I was here, in terms of widening that road. So
Yeah.
I know that it's been a concern for quite some time, but
So we need more information on that.
All right, so I.
But again, the
move-
widening of the road would be separate from what we're talking about right now. Yeah.
So I will move to place this article.
We already had Matt and
Oh.
and Laura both to place only.
Oh, good.
Any more questions?
Well, I had one other comment. I
Sure.
walk that road every time I come down to the selectmen's meeting, and it's fairly evident which trees need to come down. You'll see the dead trees, you'll see them start dying back and whatnot. And I think that any company that's cutting them down will say, oh, that's a live tree, we should leave it if need be, if it's historic. But most of those trees along that road are less than 30 years old, and they're all, some of them are dying.
Yeah.
It's pretty evident that they're hazards. So,
Okay, good. All those in favor? 401, I'm staying in Mary, okay?
Okay.
All right, next we have Article 15, looking for a motion to remove.
Not to place.
So moved.
Not to place, I'm sorry.
Because it's premature if I'm
No,
not
I
mistaken.
get that. It, just also for future reference, it's a 61B forest, not 61A agricultural.
Pretty good, Laura, that's impressive.
I had my moments.
Do I hear that motion?
So moved.
Mr. Bloss? Mr. Bloss moved it?
Okay.
Second?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor? 5-0, not to place Article 15. Article 16, wage and personnel clarification plan. We're looking for a motion to place Article 16.
So moved.
And recommend.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0.
And to
The-
recommend.
And to recommend.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Place and recommend.
Place and recommend. I apologize.
This was just to
Article
codify what the board already did as the personnel board.
And I was looking at the dollar amount, just realizing there's no dollar amount there, so. All right, let me get out of here.
Did we vote?
Did we
Yes.
vote?
We did.
We did?
I thought you guys all voted.
It's flying by so quickly. we're
I
keeping
think-
track.
Chairman Mitchell, keep it going. You're doing it.
All right, so that's it on the special, right? Okay, I'll pull up my annual spreadsheet, which is item 10. Okay, Article 1, accept the town report. This is from the Board of Selectmen.
So moved.
Looking for a motion
Second.
to place and recommend. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Mary, was there,
5-0.
I'm not asking you to necessarily call out any committee or board, but were there any that didn't give a report?
I have a few that have not submitted reports, and it's not unusual, but
Okay.
it would be nice if they did. I give them last calls. It's gone to the printer. If people could get their reports into me, I could probably still slide them into the report.
Okay.
Good.
Can you let me know which
Absolutely.
committees those would be? Okay.
Okay, Article 2, Treasurer, compensating balances. Looking for a motion to place and recommend?
Yes, this is a standard article we do
Okay.
every year.
So moved.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 3, Treasurer, tax title account, $20,000 overlay. Looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 3.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 3. Article 4, Board of Selectmen, set elected salaries, amount none.
Well, that would be the town clerk's salary and the tree warden salary. They're the only two elected officials who receive a
Okay, so we're
salary.
just gonna place now until we get the dollar amount?
We have the
You have
dollar
them
amount
right
because it was
here.
based on the
Printed in the
budget. That's what they
Okay,
submitted to
all
the
right.
budget.
So, good, so we're looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 4.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Dyer. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 5, Board of Selectmen, budget.
We just want to place it this time. Bless you.
Bless you.
Because we're
Bless
not
you.
quite done with the budget.
Looking for a motion to place Article 5.
So moved.
Motion's made, do I hear a second?
Second.
And seconded, all those in favor? 5-0. Article 6, Recreation, budget for the enterprise fund, $369,595. Looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 6. You guys with me?
We're with you. I've just got so many questions. I don't even know where to. but
Second.
okay.
You can just place and we
Just-
can
yeah.
have discussion.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so,
Right,
all right, so a motion to place has been made and seconded by Mr. Dyer. All those in favor of Article 6?
Who moved it?
5-0.
I thought Matt moved it.
Oh, did you?
Matt moved, Hickey seconded.
Oh, he did?
I
Okay.
think-
I didn't hear Jim, so I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, Article 7, Board of Health, budget for the enterprise fund, $344,962.
Again, just to,
Place, okay,
Place.
motion to place Article
So
7.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor? 5-0. Article 8,
Move to place and
CPC.
recommend.
No, just place because I don't have the numbers from them yet.
Oh, you
Todd's
don't-
still
oh,
working
okay,
on them.
because you know how it is, the 10, 70,
yeah.
like formulaic, but you just don't know what they totally got in, so we can't break it down.
Correct.
Okay.
Todd was going to check with the state, and he's going to have to redo the
So motion
calculation.
to place Article 8.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 9, capital improvements. Approve the matrix. Looking for a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 9. Article 10, capital improvements. Capital improvement projects, $558,000 from free cash.
And they're specifically listed right in the warrant itself.
Okay, do you guys want to recommend, or you just want to place this? Have you reviewed them?
I
I
would
wanna
like to
place
see
it.
the overall matrix.
Okay,
You know,
so I'm looking for a
like,
motion
so
to place.
I'd move to place, but I'd
That's
like
fine.
to see the context
No
of
problem.
this. So I move to place.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor? 5-0 to place Article 10. Article 11, School Committee. High School Capital Projects, $311,385. I'm looking for a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 11, Mary.
Just a little background, we don't know what the town of Whitman's going to be able to afford.
Right.
So we can recommend all of these and then see what happens at town meeting, and some of them may come off based on what happens over
Okay.
in Whitman.
I didn't review those yet, that's why I just want to wait. Okay, Article 12, School Committee, the HVAC system for the middle school, Phase 2, $675,000 borrowing. Looking for a motion to place and recommend.
Move to place and recommend.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor?
I'm recusing.
4-0-1, with Selectman Fitzgerald Kemet abstaining. That's Article 12. Article 13, Chapter 90, looking for a motion to place
And recommend.
and recommend. I like
So
that.
moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor of Article 13? 5-0. Article 14, Selectmen, establish a fund for Plymouth County Hospital improvements, $10,000 from free cash. Why don't we just place this one until we can review the improvements? Looking for a motion to
So
place.
moved. Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 14. Article 15, Police and Fire Training from free cash, $48,500.
So moved.
Looking for a
I move
motion
to
to-
place and
And
recommend.
recommend, yes.
Second.
All those in favor? 5-0, Article 15. Article 16, Stabilization Fund, $50,000. That number's gonna stay the same?
It may increase depending on what happens with the school.
Okay, so looking for a motion to
stabilization.
place Article 16.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 16. Article 17, Selectmen, School Stabilization Fund, $15,000 from free cash.
And that may increase as well, again, depending on what happens with the schools.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to place Article 17.
So moved.
Motion's made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0 on Article 17. Article 18, Water, replenish emergency water, $6,000 from water revenue. Looking for a motion to place and recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0 on Article 18. Article 19, Water, repave the parking lot, $40,000 from water surplus. Looking for a motion?
Move to just place.
Okay, do I hear a second?
So moved, but, you know, honestly, with the water ones, I'm inclined to just refer to town meeting, because quite frankly, they're an elected board that has control over the water budget, and we really don't have any control over it as selectmen. So I'm inclined to just say, refer to town meeting for the water articles.
And don't they have an enterprise fund?
Yes,
Yeah, this is coming out of their fund.
yeah,
Okay.
Over the years,
I just thought I'd
we've-
throw it out there.
Yeah, we've always supported the,
I support them, but I
water,
mean, it's sort of like,
you know?
you know,
I'm willing to go either way.
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
fine.
so
I
right-
don't wanna buck the trend, Kenny, it's fine, we can just do it
Don't let me be the
the good old
influencer.
way.
So is this
Okay.
gonna be a place and recommend, or just a place?
Yeah, we can police and, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with place and recommend because it's a water,
Me too.
you know.
What
I think that they would like to see our support.
Of course.
Did we get a second? And-
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a place
Okay.
and recommend, I'll
So
second.
all those in favor of Article 19? 5-0. Thank you. Okay,
Articles 20 and 21, they've requested that we, they're
okay.
taking them off.
So can we do those in a single motion? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to not place Article 20 and 21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Not to place, 20 and 21. Article 22, Water, a new frequency, variable frequency drive.
That's for the water wells on Crystal Lake.
Oh, okay.
Crystal Springs.
$15,000, that money's from water surplus. Looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 22.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 22. Article 23, Highway,
Information on that?
Stormwater Management.
Place only.
Looking for a motion to place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, Article 23. Article 24, accept additional light control property. Okay, so this, when we originally at town meeting, we originally accepted this property, we accepted it under we didn't accept it under an engineered plan. It was just almost like a
Gentleman's code,
handwritten
yeah.
plan that was in the clerk's office. So now we have an engineered plan that encompasses a little bit more property. It's gonna be a total of 9 acres, so you guys authorized me to sign the purchase and sales for the conveyance of that property to the town, and then Kate looked at it and said, you know what, we really should change it, go back. As bummed out as I was, because it just delayed it even longer, and I've been working on this project for almost 4 years, but she said that's the best way to do it. So now we have an actual engineered plan that will encompass the whole property, so we're just dotting our i's and crossing our t's as far as the attorney. So that's what that article is there. So I'm looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 24.
You don't want any money, huh?
Have we, so when we originally accepted this, it was how many acres with the building?
2.5, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're expanding it to 7 some odd additional acres, or let's say 6.5 additional acres. What are we doing to measure our additional risk in taking on that 6.5 acres? Have we done independent testing on that site? I mean, we all know that there's been hazardous materials there, and I know the DEP has been very aggressive about cleaning it up, and I know Hubble has been working, and doing due diligence there, cleaning it up. But all of the presentations the engineer made when he was making his, I don't want to say assurances, because he said we could never put a playground on it, but he basically said, like the test wells and everything were for that very specific piece of property. Now we're expanding to 6.5 additional acres, which I don't have a problem on its face, but I just want to make sure that we're not getting some minefield of like additional land that we're accepting.
So the only way to answer that question is we can have Kate come in. Kate is extremely comfortable working. She's been working with the engineer. She's been working with Hubble over the past 6 months, and she is extremely satisfied by the way. So the property hasn't really expanded. When we first accepted it, from that point on, which we accepted it, I want to say in 2015, so it's expanded, the past 3 years, it's already has expanded. So this portion that we're getting, the 9 acres, doesn't have the contaminants on it. It's the other piece.
Okay.
So the Army Corps and engineers, everything that is done over there that they've been doing, that Hubble's been doing to the tune of about $4 million, she's 100% comfortable with. So what I suggest we do tonight is place this, and maybe
Okay.
we can get Kate to come in. Remember when we had that meeting, Mike, so Mike and I went to a meeting, don't ask me how long ago, I wanna say 4 months ago,
while, yeah.
where we had our attorneys, we had Hubble's attorneys, we had the engineers, we sat in here with like 12 people, and then there was a huge report, remember, they were so big they couldn't even email, that Kate took back. Kate had somebody in her office that looked at it.
Validated?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
okay.
she's 100% comfortable. So I suggest to answer that question, in depth, that we have Kate come in.
Okay, so I move to
know.
place, but would like to wait on the recommendation
Yeah.
until we hear back from.
That's fine.
Second.
Does anybody else have any more questions? Okay, so we have a motion to place, we gotta find it, Article 24. All those in favor? Okay, 5-0. So Mike, can you write that down, please?
Yeah, I did.
To
Yep, already done.
get a hold of Kate and have her come in, please?
Yep.
Okay, Article 25, CPC,
Not to place.
Yep.
Not to place, that's right.
I move not to place.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0, not to place Article 25. Article 26, grant easement Woodbine Avenue. I think
And that's the
we
piece of
just
property
talked
we
about
just
that.
talked
Right.
Yeah, so I
Yep,
think you're
the-
comfortable
the-
with placing,
the
but you
Watts
withhold
property.
your recommendation till,
Okay, so looking
you
for a
more
motion to
information.
place Article
So
26.
moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, Article 27, Selectmen, the TIF area. We were looking for a motion to place Article 27. Do we-
Second. So moved.
Second.
All right, so it's moved by Mr. Dyer and second by Mr. Hickey.
Is this place and recommend?
place, just place.
Just place.
Place,
Just put-
because, now, Mike,
I'm still waiting on the contract.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
and I'm not 100% familiar with that, so I wanted to look into that. That's why I just
Well,
want to place.
I would like everody to be more familiar and
Yeah.
comfortable with it before.
And that's why I
we-
just
Yeah.
want a
Yep.
place.
So if there's something I don't know, then we
Yeah.
can just, but the stuff that's a no-brainer that we do, the normal formality,
Yeah.
that stuff we can recommend. Okay, all those in favor of placing Article 27? 5-0. Article 28, Pine Road Conservation Property.
I thought I fixed that. It should be Old Pine Road.
Okay, Old Pine Road Conservation Property.
That's the property where they've been, it's conservation land. It says Webster Billings or Billings Webster
And
property.
they, Conservation
and-
wants to take it, right?
Well, conservation already has it, and the water department has been doing water testing there.
Oh,
So I
okay,
believe they've
for the new
found
wells.
some water, and they want to put the wells there, but we need to get legislative approval, since it's conservation land,
Okay.
to go forward. So that's
So
what
we
this
can
article is.
place and recommend that.
Well, what are we getting in return? Because I know the regulations require, if, say, it's like 1 acre of usage that's going out of conservation, that the town get something similar back. So is water proposing to give us something back? It's required. I think quite a while ago, I looked into this with the DEP, and I copied you on that email chain.
If I'm not mistaken, and I can look into it a little further, the compensation is the improvements the water department spent on the
No,
road.
it's literally, if you say that 1/4 of an acre of that land is being used for anything except expressly conservation land, then in order to mitigate the damage to, and I know you're not really damaging it, but, you know, for the purposes of this conversation, the damage to land that otherwise the town voted to put into conservation. So the town decided, yep, that's a very important piece of property and it needs to be put into conservation. You're now, for good reasons, but effectively taking, and again, I'm making this up, 1/4 of an
feet,
acre
yeah,
out.
whatever it is.
You've got to go find another piece of land that you're then putting into conservation to offset what you've taken.
Well, my understanding was that the verbiage right now was acceptable through town council, but if you want to just place it, and we can go back and double check.
Yeah, because the water department's not gonna have any land. You're saying that they would have to
They
give
have
us
an
land to
easement,
swap?
yeah, they have an easement, and they do have land. They've got other parcels of property around town that they own, like near Poor Meadowbrook and things like that. But they're not only drilling the well, but they've got an easement that they've put through there. And again, I support the project, but the voters voted to put that into conservation. So, I think Matt had something, Kenny.
Yeah, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, I do attend the Massachusetts Conservation Commissioners Association, and Laura is correct. If whatever land is in conservation, you have to mitigate it by 1.5 or whatever it may be. So maybe the light control might be a good option for us to take, you know what I mean, might be able to level it off. I don't know what they're planning to use for the easement, but we might be able to offset that by taking that light control property. So that might be something that we might want town council to look into.
Okay. So then let's just place Article 28, and then Mike, you gotta get us some more information on that, you know, maybe something from Jay.
Well, it was, yeah, all that stuff was from Jay. and
I
Kate,
got an
but,
opinion from the DEP on this about a year ago when it first came up, and I emailed it to you and
Yeah,
Phil
and
and a bunch of other
forwarded,
people.
and forwarded to
Yeah.
the appropriate people
Yeah,
back then.
and I think Kate was even copied on it.
Oh, no, she was.
Yeah,
And then Mary, you'll throw that old in front of the pine?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any more questions?
no, so I moved to place.
I think we did that, didn't we? Or maybe we didn't, I don't know, I forgot. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 28. Article 29, assessors, adopt the minimum value. What's the minimum value?
The issuance of personal
It's
property
about
tax
personal
bills.
property. They can,
So nothing under 3,000 would be subject to,
right, they send out bills for personal property at a certain level.
Okay.
They could send out, they end up sending out a lot of bills for stuff that either they don't pay it, or it's just such a low value.
Okay.
That's why they want to,
Oh, okay.
how did we arrive at
Gotcha.
the 3,000? Do you know? Is that what other towns do? I don't have any intelligence.
I
on
think
that.
it's a
It's a
statute,
statute,
The 3,000?
Okay. It's a state.
establishes a minimum.
Chapter 59, Section 5. Clause 54.
Well, it says,
Wow.
well, no, that says that the
That's the
value
mi-
may
the
not be
value
in excess
less
of 10,000.
10,000.
So I'm wondering how we came up at 3,000.
I will have to check with,
Okay, so
Can I
let's,
move to
let's.
place?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yep. And I just need a second on that.
Second.
Okay. So looking for, all right, all those in favor? 5-0. That's just to recommend, I'm sorry, that's just to place Article 29.
Yep.
And Mary will get back to us on that. Article 30, Veterans, adopt Chapter 59, 5K and 5N.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. What is that, briefly, Mike?
is that to place and recommend, or just?
The Veterans
Place to
Work Off
recommend.
Program, it increases the dollar amount that he's got to give people the ability to
veterans.
work off their
Yeah, okay.
taxes. and-
Thank you.
It just
Yeah.
increases it.
Okay, so we're gonna place and recommend Article 30. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 31, the Veterans, adopt Chapter 59, Section 5, CL 22H. Looking for a motion to place and recommend.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 31. Article 32.
Those are exemptions for Gold Star families.
Okay. Selectmen, amend general bylaw, no knockdown provision.
All right, not to place.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Not to place Article 32. Article 33. CAV TV, PEG access account.
Place, not recommend. I mean, place, hold off the recommendation.
Okay. Looking for a motion to place
moved.
Article 33.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 34, Selectmen.
Place only.
Okay, stipends, TC certification. What is that, Mike?
Treasure collector and actually.
Treasure collector certification.
It's
Okay.
also extends to the town clerk.
Looking for a motion to place Article 34.
So moved.
Motion's made.
Second.
And seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 35, amend the zoning bylaws, retail marijuana. That, we're looking for a motion to place and recommend. That's a final step that we need to do.
Right.
Is this where they actually landed? Because I understand from unimpeachable sources that there was a planning meeting last night and there was some just
They voted not to take action, but to defer to town meeting
for the,
for this zoning. There's something else we're gonna bring up at the
okay,
end.
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
This is to rectify the discrepancy between the
Yes.
two bylaws.
But
that
you're correct, there was
disconnect,
a
This
further.
is the
there was-
final piece we need to do to
Okay.
ban the
So
retail
moved.
marijuana.
Second.
Motion's made and strongly seconded. All those in favor? 5-0.
I don't know if I strongly seconded it.
Was it
No,
real?
no, 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 not you, him.
I said so moved, strongly.
Yeah.
All right.
That was
I'll
to
flop-
place and recommend,
I'll
right?
flop that around. Yeah.
That was a little poetic license there.
Wrong side, sorry. Okay, Article 36 and 37, I'm looking for a motion not to place.
Not to place, so moved.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. But that will surely be there in October. Article 38, Selectmen revolving accounts. There's no dollar amount there, right? We're just approving all the
That's
revolving accounts.
that's the rates that they're set
Right,
at.
okay, looking for a motion to place and recommend Article 38.
It's right there on the
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0. Article 38. Article 39 is the town clerk, election article.
That's a place and recommend, that's a requirement.
Looking for a place
So
and
moved.
recommend. All those in favor? 5-0. That's always the best article at town meeting, because it's the last one.
And we have, and Laura alluded to it,
This is it, right here.
no, no, that was the
Oh, okay.
appointment.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Mike.
Last night, when the planning board met and discussed the, going forward with amending, or I should say, in a sense, repealing the zoning for retail marijuana, the issue came up, the question came up regarding the current state of the allowable cultivation areas, not locations, but the areas at which you can cultivate. It was found that, and town council was there, Kate was there, and she recommends this action. Yeah, thank you. That,
Was that their meeting, Mike?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Because we wanted to make sure that it was clear in terms of what the planning board was either recommending or moving on to town meeting, that it was necessary to jive up with the general bylaw that was voted. And, you know, technically at ballot, the townspeople in a majority voted to also repeal the zoning that allowed retail marijuana locations. But as they thought a bit more about it, the current bylaws do not allow retail cultivation. And what the,
Recreational.
what did I say?
You said retail, it should be recreational cultivation.
Oh, recreational, which is, you know, recreational, which turns into retail. So what the planning board has asked the Board of Selectmen to consider is reopening the warrant and placing within the warrant an article that would allow recreational cultivation. Not recreational use, but recreational cultivation.
Grow facility. as they call
Exactly,
them.
which is generally allowed, which is allowed in terms of medicinal and other cultivation. So, that is the request, that the board vote to reopen the warrant, to insert an article that would, it would be to amend Town of Hanson bylaw section 4L, special requirements for medical marijuana facilities, to add recreational cultivation, manufacture, and testing, excluding retail, just to be safe, in the overlay district. And again, town council
Can you tell us where
supported
the
this.
overlay district is, just so where, I believe it's the industrial
It
park,
is, it's in the
basically.
industrial park, over towards the.
It's sort of a rhetoric
East
question, but-
Bridgewater
yeah.
line.
Okay, so that would
So
give us some latitude if we were to have a proponent come before us that might want to have a grow facility.
Yes,
We would-
specifically for that
We would get
use.
the tax revenue without the nightmare of what people have contemplated might happen if we had a retail facility.
Correct. It would not affect the town, people, the Board of Selectmen, town meetings, will to ban
So does Kate think-
retail, yes,
She thinks that current bylaw that we have in place banning retail excludes
No.
cultivation?
No, the problem is that our bylaw that allows cultivation does not allow the cultivation of recreational marijuana.
We didn't contemplate it.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That
it's
I'm
just,
totally fine with.
Okay.
That I'm fine with. So it's a company
I think
coming
it's
in.
the best of all worlds, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. We
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
the
so
revenue
it's
with
just
the, you know.
It's gonna be a warehouse if it came in
I
that's
do.
gonna cultivate marijuana, and they're not gonna sell it out of there.
No.
Well, they'll be selling it to their distributors.
yeah, but it won't be sold, in a
So is
retail
that
shop.
article,
We would
you
add
have
the,
the article that they wanna
Yeah.
propose to us?
yeah.
So
Kate-
first we have to
Kate's
open the
working on it,
warrant.
she will send
Okay.
us the
So
verbiage
thi-
on it.
This is it in a nutshell, to amend the current
Okay, so-
cultivation bylaw, basically to include recreational.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to
Cultivation.
open up the warrant.
Yeah, so the one
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0.
place.
And now I'm looking for a motion to place, what's it called?
To place an article which would amend the Town of Hanson zoning bylaws, Section 4L, special requirements for medical marijuana facilities, to add recreational cultivation, manufacture, and testing, excluding retail, to the overlay, in the overlay district.
So moved.
So I have a motion made and seconded. So, okay, I'm fine with that. So once we get the clarification, and once that gets cleaned up, and then we'll look at recommending
Yeah, you
that,
can
which
vote
I
to
would
recommend at
that
that
time.
point.
Okay?
By and large, this is what
Okay,
it'll be.
all those in
It's a
favor?
one-line change.
5-0, Mary. Now I'm looking for a motion to close the warrant.
So, second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor? 5-0.
And I can safely say, without giving names and locations, but there is some active,
Yeah, no, that I'm totally fine with.
there is some active interest in this, so.
Good. Okay, town administrator's report. You're up, Mike.
I'm gonna dig back through this stuff. Hold on one second, Mr. Chairman.
You want me to give you a second? We can go to the minutes.
Yeah, would you please? I just spread all these things all over the
Did
place.
you guys get a chance to review the minutes?
January 22nd.
January 22nd, 29th to
I
12th?
I did not give you the 29th. I still have those, so we can table those.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Are we making one motion for all?
Yes, so, why don't we get a motion to approve the minutes of March 12th and March 19th?
We can't do
We
all
can do
because
we can do the
mine's-
22nd.
Okay, and the 22nd, but how about the executive session? We do that one separate?
We can do it on separate.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of January 22nd, March 12th, and March 19th.
So moved.
Motion's made and
Seconded.
seconded by Mr. Bloss. All those in favor? 5-0. Now I'm looking for a motion to approve January 22nd, 2019 executive session minutes not to release.
Got it.
Second.
All those in favor? 5-0. Okay, one-day liquor license. I'm looking for a motion to approve all the liquor license as printed on the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion's made and seconded by Mr. Hickey. All those in favor? 5-0. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, I'm all set now, thanks. A few things, Mr. Chairman. I think, not most importantly, but I know it's something people look at every day. At JJ's, speaking just this afternoon with the new owner, that is still tied up because the DEP has yet to grant the permit for removal. It's been granted here at this level. I've pretty much updated you on all of this on a number of occasions. I guess just suffice to say that the new owner is still waiting for the permit from the state to remove the hazardous materials there. We have, my office has reached out to DEP to try to move things along. So we're doing what we can on our end, but
You're confident he's doing what
Yes.
he's supposed to be
That's
doing?
what I was gonna say.
Yes,
You're
yes, he
independently
is.
Okay.
verifying. We're
yes,
not
yes,
just-
yes.
okay.
I've spoken with DEP directly, so.
Okay, good. Stay on that, Mike, please.
Yep, we are. I wanted to let you know, I brought this up a couple of times, how I've been trying to have an ADA, a disabled committee meeting. Now we're looking hopeful for April. There were some issues, in terms of trying to get together. And I've just had a back and forth with the chairwoman, well, who will be the chairwoman, since they haven't met yet, who I assume will be the chairwoman, and we're looking to set something up in April, and I'll let you know. We've been looking forward to having that meeting, and we've already got pretty much the whole first couple of meetings' agendas in our mind, so it's just a matter of trying to get people together, so.
Hey, Mike, would you noodle possibly having a table at the Hanson Day for ADA? The ADA committee, just to talk about what you guys do? Or at least
Yeah.
have some pamphlets, just because that might be,
Yeah, I think,
an
at a
audience
minimum,
that-
we could do pamphlets, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me think about the right way to approach that. Let me make a note.
I just think it's important
yeah.
that people know that we've got services, that they could avail themselves of, in a place where they could go to
Yeah.
have somebody help them.
Okay. I think I had individually let everyone know, but publicly I'll let everyone know that we were successful in selling the spare Council on Aging van, and $3,100 that we brought in for that. So that's good. We regularly try to identify surplus and get it off the books and make a couple of dollars out of it, so we're successful. This Friday, there is a Watershed Action Committee meeting at Camp Kawani. It starts first thing in the morning. The selectmen, of course, are more than welcome to attend. It is first thing in the morning, and I think everyone here works, and I think you're going to be out of town. But I will attend. This is the second, if not third, such meeting that we've had there out I'll go and I'll give a greeting, and it's a generally very well-received regional meeting, and they talk about very important issues, namely, the watershed and protection of
I
water.
think it's quite an honor for them to be at Camp Kewaunee, to be in our town. I do. Because these are a lot of the people we have to reach out to when we need grants and that type
Oh,
of thing, so,
it's very symbiotic.
yeah.
Very much so, and it goes so far as we get a certain amount of exposure for the camp as well, and they also put us down as one of the sponsors, so we get that sort of exposure too. To keep on with upcoming meetings, the CPC is going to hold a public forum on April the 10th, in which they're going to have a discussion of or try to solicit input in terms of the recreational fields and open spaces needs in the town. The CPC is looking to take on the possibility of sponsoring an inventory and evaluation so that there's an integrated approach to not only what they potentially would fund going forward, but I think, holistically what the town needs. So they're trying to bring in the various proponents from different sectors to have that discussion before they launch into their proposed inventory and evaluation. And I think this also is helpful going down the road in terms of what we were talking about, the potential of bringing a couple of committees together to form a more overall arching recreation commission. So I think it's just one further step in that direction. So again, that's April the 10th. I believe that I sent this out today. We received an invitation from the state to attend a award ceremony in Hingham on the 9th of April at 8:30, in which we will be officially commended for becoming a green community. It will be held in Hingham, and the reason is because Hingham is also being granted that designation. So they had made the decision to hold it in Hingham. We have been asked to RSVP, so if anybody is so inclined, please let me know, and I'll put all of us on the list. Again, it's something I intend on.
When is it, Mike?
It is April the 9th at 9:30 at Hingham Town Hall.
Kudos to Matt and the rest of the crew for pulling that over the line.
Well, that was, it started, but it was
Yeah.
really everyone else, Deb and Council of Aging and Mike
Yep.
and Mary, who've done all the legwork, so.
And to your credit, Matt, and I don't want to take a lot of credit, Deb had an awful lot to do with this, and our contacts at OCPC as well did most of the legwork on this. And they're the ones that really deserve the pat on the back.
Now, will they get invited to attend?
Yes.
Okay.
And speaking of Deb, I'm happy to announce that the planning board last night voted to appoint her as the full-time town planner going forward. So we've got a full-time town planner.
Nice.
And I couldn't speak more highly of Deb, and I think you all feel the same way in your interactions with her. So good. I had a very interesting meeting, and I think I might have sent this to Matt, on March the 14th, with a company that Chris Collins had brought in, who are proposing, and I don't have any backup because they haven't sent it to me yet, it was just an initial conversation, of the potential of placing some solar carports around town. One of the thoughts is perhaps here in the back lot, perhaps up at the hospital, and other locations. And what that could do two things for us. Obviously, it would provide solar power that we could sell back to the grid. But it also could be set up that solar power could then come down and power an electric car generating or a powering station. So, it's still a little bit off in the distance. It's something that I found very interesting, that they would basically pay for themselves. And I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's a win-win. I wanted to bring it forward, just so you're aware of my conversations. I will be bringing the board, and I will be giving the Energy Committee the information as we move forward, but just real interesting stuff, and I think again, it's a win on several different levels. But that same day, I had a conversation with Joe Cardinal, who is our point of contact at National Grid, and I think I had discussed with the board, I know I'd mentioned to the board on several occasions we were taking a strong look at the potential of purchasing the streetlights and replacing them with LEDs. And I said that the only downside to that, in my opinion, was we would then be responsible for the maintenance and repair, and we didn't necessarily have the wherewithal to do such. There were ways to approach that. I wasn't exactly enamored with the ways, but the savings, I mean, the pros outweighed the cons. Well, I think I may have also mentioned to the board, in those explorations, it came to light that National Grid has a program in which they retain ownership of the lights, and they make the changes to the LED, in which not only we get the savings, it's reduced savings from if we purchase the lights outright, but of course we'd have money we'd have to put out front to purchase the lights. But the thing that attracted me the most is there's no maintenance. We don't pick up the responsibility of replacing the light at 5 in the morning when a car strikes it, or going around town and checking them on a regular basis and physically replacing all the LEDs probably the last 20 years anyway. In addition to that, my understanding is we also reap the benefit of the incentives that are out there as well, the one-time incentives. So whereas it would be a less of a savings for us going forward, I think, again, that offsets the cost of 1 or 2 times that we'd have to replace a light if it were damaged. So what is happening is it's sort of a 2-track approach. I had requested, and it will continue to go forward, the cost to purchase the lights from National Grid. In making that request, National Grid in and of itself is going out and doing an audit so that they can come back with a price that's realistic. But they would do that audit anyway to get to this other proposal that I've just mentioned to you, this other possibility of them doing the LEDs themselves. On top of all of that, within the Green Communities Grant, we will still go forward with our own audit, which will be done by an outside firm and funded again through the Green Communities Grant, just to make sure that we have we've got our own independent audit, which really does make sense. So I think that what is going to happen, and again, whether we were purchasing these or we're going down the path of asking National Grid to enact that program, we were still looking at probably not until May getting this information back. So I think in May or thereabouts, we will be able to sit down and do the apples to apples. We will know how much it would cost if we were to purchase them. We will know how much it will cost or how much we will save if we ask National Grid to take it upon themselves, and we can make a decision at that point what makes the most sense. In all honesty, again, we would save less money, but we would shed ourselves of the responsibility that I don't think we really, again, have the wherewithal to take on in terms of having to maintain these things. So within the next week, I'm trying to set it up. Actually, I reached out today. I'm trying to set it up for next week. And this kind of delves into the Plymouth County Hospital report. We're going to bring out the next consultant that we have doing the design to walk the property. We had a meeting with him, I want to say it was in the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, just to further define the direction that the Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee wished to go in. And in that conversation, we had made the decision that it made sense for him to walk the property again. So we're going to set that up just in furtherance of trying to get honed down exactly what the committee is looking for. On top of that, we're also going to go on a site walk with a gentleman who is an arborist, and take a look at whether or not there are any trees that possibly could be culled that are blocking out new growth that is more valuable than the old growth, with a thought in mind of not only having the more valuable, if you want to use that word, trees and vegetation to prosper, but also with the possibility of perhaps capturing some revenue from the logging, from taking down the trees that are possibly available for resale. We are, and again, this kind of delves into one of the reports later, but the McQuon Reuse Committee is going to be meeting April the 3rd. We received a proposed contract with a timeline from Keller Williams. We're going to sit down with them on the 3rd and kind of fine-tune the contract. really more with the notion in mind that we would like to have something in place or like to be able to walk away if necessary, but something that a decision could be made in time for the October special town meeting. And I think we're gonna have to, the timeline that they proposed to us is not conducive for that. So we're gonna sit down and we're gonna try to hammer out something that makes sense. We just don't wanna do it arbitrarily on our own, since, we're not in the business and we don't wanna, set them up for failure. But we wanna have a cooperative conversation to try to get to that particular end result. Again, the end result being, one way or the other, having something to bring or state at town meeting in October. And you'll note that, you passed on a recommendation at our recommendation, that we will continue to move in the direction of potential authorization of demolition of McQuon if Keller Williams is unsuccessful either in bringing someone in or bringing in a project that we feel is appropriate for the town of Hanson, so that we don't lose any timing in terms of taking that particular building down. And that is all I have, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. All right, committee reports. 200th Anniversary Committee, Laura.
We're meeting this week, but we've had some fabulous additions. Wes and Jim came to our last meeting. Wes had a great idea for a fundraiser, which I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, and I think the element of surprise will work to our advantage. And we're going to also have a Monte Carlo night, which will be in October. We did have to work through some logistics in terms of whether the committee could actually fundraise and whether it could be like a Friends of, and ultimately the committee kind of discussed, could we get a club like Rotary or Kiwanis, who has a 501c3, to raise the money and donate to the town. So that's the route that we're going for the Monte Carlo night in October at Meadowbrook, date TBD. We finished our logo contest. We had over 50 submissions. We ended up whittling it down to 3 logos. One, which is going to be used for some higher end items like Christmas ornaments, that type of thing. One that will be sort of our lock, our stock and barrel type of thing, which was by Charlotte Anderson. And then we've got another one that we're going to be using on our website. So lots of great talent. It was excited to get all different, ages, all different skill sets.
There's a lot of people in there now.
It was amazing. Well, yeah, we're starting to burst at the seams. But we need more because we have a lot of subcommittees that we have to develop. So we need more. Come on down. And we're... also, we're looking at Hanson Day as our kind of coming out day. We're going to have a little table there, probably sell some tchotchkes, tell people about some of the events that we've got coming up so that people can visualize what 2020 is going to look like. Clear your calendar. We'll have something going on every week of every month. I mean, it's like really, I honestly don't know how we're going to get it all done, but we are. So we'll be meeting this week, and I'm sure there'll be more to report after that.
Good, excellent, thank you. Final Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee.
So Mike touched upon most of it. So we're just kind of going through the motions. Mike was nice enough to come by, update us on what's going on with the engineer, as well as the financial aspect of it, because there was some confusion with bank accounts and whatnot. So we're just kind of moving forward. We're going to start looking at grants as soon as we kind of figure out the layout of what to happen up there. And then we're just kind of also talking about moving forward. So once a park is built up there, that who's going to be taking control of it and stuff like that. That's the biggest part is, all right, we're planning for the next step, but we also have to plan for the step after that. So that's really exciting stuff. And then also, too, just to kind of let you know about what's going on in the recreational world, they're starting to interview for a recreation director this week. So there was some really good applicants, so hopefully we'll have something in the coming future for a recreation director.
Good.
Last night and tomorrow night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, excellent, thank you. The Quan School Reuse Committee.
Mike somewhat stole my thunder, but we're working with Keller Williams to refine what it is that they're working for. And just so people are clear, we have no intention of selling that property. We already went that route, we got no responses. And everybody sort of universally agreed on the committee, and in general, I think that it's an important piece of property to the town, so we're not gonna just throw it out there and let people do whatever they want with it. So we're gonna keep it. So with that in mind, now Keller Williams has narrowed their focus on, can they shop this piece of property out to get somebody to lease the property, or potentially, if we tear it down, to build something on there and lease it. So that's kind of where we're coming from, through the lens of really looking to see if we can try to fulfill some of our needs for affordable housing, so that we're not at the mercy of 40B all of the time, and we can at least show some forward movement in having some affordable housing. And again, it won't be all affordable housing, but one of the things that study after study after study, whether it's CPC or the Housing Production Plan, you name it, the OCPC, when they did the Plymouth County Hospital study, over and over and over again, and I think we all intuitively know this anyway, it shows up that we have a huge lack of affordable senior housing in the town. And this is causing people a lot of anxiety when we have school issues that come and we're looking for taxes. They want to stay in the town, but they don't know if they can afford to. So I really look at this, I'm quite hopeful that we might be able to do something there. What we're looking for is really to do it at no cost to Hanson. And it may be idyllic, but we're giving it a whirl. And if we don't have anybody step up, then they don't step up, and we'll probably end up with a blank footprint there. And, you know, but we're gonna try to get somebody to come in, and we're gonna try to goose it a little and see if we might be able to get either some walking trails, or get them to improve some of the fields there, or that type of thing. So we're looking for something from the town, but also a lease. So we're getting very aggressive with these guys, and as Mike said, we had thrown out an initial timeline with them. They've come back to us, we're gonna respond to them and try to work through it. But worst case scenario, we'll be looking to tear down McQuon in October.
Okay,
So,
good. Excellent. Hanson School Repair Committee.
We'll be meeting on April 18th.
Okay, excellent. All right, so right now I'm looking for a motion to, yes, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just want to also, too, recognize Jean Kelly. Today, she received her certificate in International Municipal Clerk Certification, correct? Did I get that correct?
Yes, I think you
So
did.
that's a huge step,
Yes.
and that's a lot of work, so I just want to make sure that
Oh,
we
that's great.
recognize that, and that the town also knows that we're continuing ed here, and we're always striving for the greatest and the best.
Mike, could we do a little something to Jean to acknowledge that? And I think it's a good idea that we generally would do that when people have, you know, because that takes a lot of studying to get there.
It
Oh,
was
yeah,
a lot of work.
Lot of hours.
That's great.
Okay, and Mr. Chairman, can I just mention that we did have on the agenda tonight the Board of Health transfer station discussion, and we all see this is coming at us fast.
Yes.
So, I mean, I know I'm concerned, and I think there's a lot of concern about what is the future of the transfer station, what is the future of trash removal in Hanson, but it is a huge issue. And a
So
year and
that's
a,
not going away, they just weren't ready, but
Right.
that's, I can tell you, that's not going away, that's coming right back on here in the,
right, I mean, in a year and a
Immediate
half,
future.
we're going to hit a wall.
Yes,
So we are
yes.
working,
unfortunately, we need to deal with it now.
we do.
And I would like to kind of volley something out there that because it's not on the agenda, so I know we can't discuss it, but I would like to think about having discussions very shortly after town meeting about how we get our financial house in order and how we do a 5 and 10 year plan. We've probably all seen the headlines over in Whitman, and to me, it's a it's a tale for the, it's a cautionary tale, and it's one that could quite easily happen to us. So I'd like to think about how we work with FinCom and Capital, and how do we get a vision for what we want 5
Yeah,
years,
why don't
10
we put that
years.
on after town
I
meeting?
just want to put it out there
And
so
have
that
that
we can put a
discussion.
placeholder.
But, okay,
Well, if I may follow up on that, and I don't disagree that that's a good idea, but I do want to make sure that it's out there that those that are watching the meeting, our meeting, that the town of Hanson right now is in fiscally good shape. And again, I don't I can't even begin to understand the issues that Whitman is dealing with, and I feel very, very badly for that town. But I want to make sure that the town of Hanson, the townspeople of Hanson are aware that through the grace of God, we are not dealing with the same sort of issues that Whitman unfortunately is dealing with. So my fear is that, you know, people are watching that and being concerned about our town. Our town is all right now.
And Mike, can you briefly, because there's a lot of speculation about where we're at. You have not committed to a dollar amount yet with the school district. We have
I've
not.
given out, and like you said, it's not on the agenda, but we can sort of say
We're
this is.
getting real close.
We can say this is
Well,
sort of.
it's a town
We can say,
administrator.
I was just gonna say, we can say this is under my report.
Yeah, it is.
We have given them, and it's public knowledge, I have given them the amount of money, and the amount of money is slightly under $600,000. The percentage is 6.5% over what we spent last year. We have said that we can afford that amount, and that's where we are right now.
Okay, thank you. So
All right.
moved.
All right,
Do I get a turn since everyone else did?
sure, absolutely.
I don't want a turn.
It's just-
How about a second into executive session?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
No, well, just, you gotta read what we're doing for our executive
there we go.
session, yes.
Okay, to further conduct strategy sessions and preparations for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiation with non-union personnel, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, and the chair so declares, fire union and the fire chief. Roll call vote.
No, I need so moved.
So move.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? It's a roll call vote.
Aye.
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 We're now in executive session.
But the meeting will end, right?
Thank you.
When executive session is.
Yeah.
Yes.